because along the northern frontier of ancient China, during the time of the Warring States, there lived a wise old man known as Sai Weng. He was not a man of great wealth or power, but he kept many horses, and he was known throughout his village for one unusual quality. He was never shaken by life. One day, one of his horses went missing. It simply wandered off and did not return. When the neighbors heard the news, they came to his home to offer their condolences, urging him not to worry too much. But Sai Weng only smiled. Losing one horse, he said gently, is not such a great loss. Who knows, this might actually bring some good fortune. The neighbors exchanged glances. They thought he was simply consoling himself. A horse was gone. That was a loss. There was nothing more to say. But a few days later, something unexpected happened. The lost horse came back, and it did not come back alone. Trotting alongside it was a magnificent Zhongnu steed. Tall, powerful, wild-maned, and full of spirit. A horse worth far more than the one that had gone missing. The neighbors rushed over, full of admiration. "You truly have great foresight, old man. What wonderful fortune!" But Sai Weng did not smile. He looked at the new horse with a quiet sense of worry. Gaining a fine horse for nothing, he said slowly, may not necessarily be a blessing. Perhaps it will bring some trouble instead. The neighbors shook their heads. They were sure he was just being humble. Surely he was delighted inside and simply too clever to show it. Sai Weng had one son, his only child, and the boy loved horses more than anything in the world. When he laid eyes on the new Zhongnu stallion, he knew immediately that it was an exceptional animal. From that day on, he rode it out every single day, filled with pride and joy. Then, one afternoon, swept up in excitement, he urged the horse into a full gallop. In an instant, he lost his balance. He fell from the horse's back and broke his leg. The neighbors came once again, this time with sympathy and concern. A broken leg was no small matter for the family's only son. But Sai Weng sat quietly by his son's bedside and said, almost to himself, "It's nothing. He has broken his leg, but he has kept his life. Perhaps, in its own way, this is actually a blessing." The neighbors thought he had lost his mind. What blessing could possibly come from a broken leg? They would soon find out. Not long after, the Zhongnu launched a massive invasion across the northern frontier. The call went out across every village. All able-bodied young men were to be conscripted into the army immediately. Families wept as sons, brothers, and husbands were taken to the front lines. But Sai Weng's son, with his broken leg, could not serve. The battle that followed was devastating. The young men of the village fought bravely, and almost none of them came home. Only Sai Weng's son survived. What had seemed like misfortune, a lost horse, a broken leg, had, in the end, saved his life. This is the wisdom behind the ancient Chinese idiom, Sai Weng shi mai wengshke. The old man lost his horse. It teaches us that life rarely unfolds the way we expect. What looks like a loss today may become a gain tomorrow. What feels like misfortune may carry within it the seeds of blessing. We cannot always see the full picture. And so, like Sai Weng, perhaps it is wise to hold both joy and sorrow a little more lightly. Because in this life, the story is never quite over.